The whirring sound of rotor blades shattered the standoff. I spun toward the shattered windows as a dark shape rose into view, backlit by the city's ambient glow. The Penguin. He hovered outside the second-floor opening on his weaponized umbrella, the motorized mechanism straining against his weight. Blood matted the side of his head. He'd clearly regained consciousness recently, and his face twisted with rage. "You!" Penguin's voice was a guttural snarl as he maneuvered through the broken window frame, landing heavily on the office floor. His umbrella retracted with a mechanical whine. "You treacherous, painted maniac!" Joker's theatrical posture shifted. His smile remained, but something dangerous flickered in his eyes. "Ozzy, you're late to the party, and bleeding on my stage." "Your stage?" Penguin advanced, limping slightly, his hand tight around the umbrella's handle. "You shot Shrek. You reprogrammed my capacitor. You turned my city into your personal carnival." "Your city?" Joker's laugh was sharp. "That's adorable. Gotham doesn't belong to anyone, least of all a waddling reject from a Victorian freak show." I caught Selina's eye. She nodded fractionally. While the villains postured, we had an opening. Behind the chemical vat, Max Schreck worked frantically at his bonds. His shoulders twisted, and I saw the duct tape around his wrists beginning to fray. He'd been sawing them against something, maybe a sharp edge on the chair. "Bruce," I subvocalized, "Penguin just crashed the party. Situation is deteriorating." "I see him on thermal. Dick's repositioning for a clearer shot if needed. Can you extract Shrek?" "Working on it." Penguin raised his umbrella, pointing it at Joker like a rifle. "I should have gutted you when you first crawled out of those chemicals. Shrek was right about you. You're unpredictable, unreliable, a liability." "Liability?" Joker's voice dropped an octave. "I'm the only honest one in this rotten city. You and Shrek, you dress up your greed in business suits and urban development. At least I'm authentic." The detonator remained in Joker's hand, his thumb still poised over the trigger. One wrong move and the shaped charges would rupture the vat, flooding this level with corrosive chemicals. Shrek would die, and possibly all of us. I began edging left, using the theatrical light's glare to mask my movement. Selina mirrored me on the right, if we could flank them while they were focused on each other. Penguin lunged. The umbrella's tip lanced forward, blade extended, aiming for Joker's throat. Joker twisted with surprising agility, the blade missing by inches. He swung the detonator like a club, catching Penguin across the jaw. Penguin staggered but recovered quickly, years of street fighting evident in his movements. He fired a compressed gas pellet from the umbrella's mechanism. It struck the wall behind Joker, releasing a cloud of noxious yellow smoke. Joker coughed, retreating toward the vat. Chemical warfare, how derivative. I moved. 3 quick steps brought me within striking range. My hand shot out for the detonator, but Joker sensed me coming. He spun, bringing his other hand up, holding a pistol I hadn't seen him draw. "Always the hero," he hissed, pressing the gun against my ribs. "Always rushing in." Selina's whip cracked across the space, wrapping around Joker's wrist. She yanked hard, jerking his arm away from me. The pistol discharged, the round punching through the floor with a deafening crack. Penguin used the distraction to charge again, his considerable bulk hitting Joker from the side. They crashed into a desk, wood splintering under the impact. I turned to Shrek. He'd gotten one hand free and was tearing at the tape on his other wrist with his teeth. Blood ran from where the adhesive had torn his skin. "Hold still," I ordered, drawing a small blade from my belt. I cut through the remaining restraints in 2 quick motions. Shrek scrambled away from the chair, his eyes wild. "They're insane, both of them. They were going to." "Shut up and get to the stairs," Selina commanded, keeping her attention on the brawl. Joker and Penguin rolled across the floor, a tangle of limbs and weapons. The detonator skittered away, sliding across the concrete toward the vat's base. Everything slowed. The detonator was 3 feet from the chemical container, right next to one of the shaped charges. If someone stepped on it, if it took any impact. I dove. My fingers closed around the device just as Penguin's boot came down inches from my hand. I rolled away, clutching the detonator against my chest. Joker saw me with it, and his expression transformed into something between fury and delight. "Oh, that's perfect. Now you're the one holding everyone's fate. How does it feel, hero?" Penguin broke away from Joker, panting. He fixed his gaze on me and the detonator. "Give that to me. I can disarm it. Shrek's codes." "You'll use it as leverage," Selena cut in, positioning herself beside me. "Just like you always do." "And she'll destroy it," Joker pointed at me, his green hair wild and disarranged. "She'll try to be noble and save everyone, and Gotham will stay exactly as corrupt as it's always been." I looked at the detonator in my hand. One button. Behind me, Shrek was edging toward the stairs. Joker stood by the vat, bleeding from his lip. Penguin gripped his umbrella, calculating angles. "Renee," Bruce's voice crackled in my ear. "Dick says the structural supports near you just shifted. That brawl compromised the floor integrity. You need to evacuate now." A deep groan resonated through the building. Dust rained from the ceiling. The chemical vat tilted slightly as the floor beneath it began to sag. "Nobody move," I said quietly, hearing the fear in my own voice. "If this floor goes, we all go with it." Joker started laughing. Of course he did.